Malin, welcome. So great to have you here.
Thank you, Juliet. I'm excited to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get here from Sweden and what was all that about?
My adventurous Viking spirit took me here. I have always loved traveling. I have always been into fitness, and I was one of Sweden's top 5 runners. And actually, my coach in Sweden sent me to Southern California when I was 16 years old. I fell in love with the weather, and I ended up here after I finished my master's degree in physical education in Sweden. So at age 28, I came back, and since then, I've never left. I love it here.
That's amazing. And she lives down at the beach too. It's so tough to live in Santa Monica.
So tough, so
I know.
tough.
I used to live in Manhattan Beach, and it's a tough. It's a whole little microcosm in and of itself living down at the beach.
Yeah, and what I love about where I live is that when you grow up in Sweden, you bike, you walk to everything. I didn't even own a car until I moved to LA. But in Sweden, I walked and biked to everything. And where I live in Santa Monica, I actually can maintain that same lifestyle. I walk and bike to everything. So that's one of the reasons I love living here.
You know, that's so funny because when I was in France, which of course I ate everything in sight, I loved it was the same thing. Like you didn't worry. You were walking it off. It was all good. So that's amazing. So you are the trainer to Jane Fonda, who I'm sure all of us remember from the 80s. Total transparency here. Transparency here. I actually used to sit on the couch, all of us girls did in college, watching Jane Fonda videos and drinking beer. So,
Oh my God.
those were our 12-ounce curls. So, but seriously, I mean, the woman has an amazing body. She's in her 80s. How long have you been working with her, and how does she look so amazing?
Well, we worked probably 3-4 years together, and she is a fitness guru herself. And it was such an honor when she walked up to me and said, "Hey, can you work me out?" And I said, "Well, let me check my schedule first."
Right? No,
But,
I'm not into that.
was,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like as if Dalai Lama is hiring a spiritual leader. It was just such an honor to be her trainer, and still am. It's been an ongoing relationship, and of course, yes, she is a fitness guru herself, and she has just been very active her whole life. In addition to that, it's her mind. She's such an inspiration to be around. Anyone says that, whoever meets her. She's just such an inspiration, not just because of her age, but just how she is, how she's driven throughout life. And now at age, she's going to be 83, and I'm very confidential with all my clients. But when it's public knowledge, everyone knows. So she's going to be 83 coming up now in December. And it's just been an amazing journey with her. And she is driven even more today than a few years ago. And that is because of the whole climate action that she's written a book. And so her mind is just so active. And that's what I always emphasize. And the mind and the body. So if you keep that strong as you're aging, you can be like Jane Fonda.
Oh, that is exciting. So, Malin, you came to me because you wrote a book. And I have to tell you guys, I rarely read the books that people bring me just because we have so many books in production. I would be reading all the time. I have read a lot of this book, and it's amazing. It's for my demographic, being 59 years old. Tell us a little bit about the book, why you thought it was so important to write this book right now.
Well, I've worked with the 50 plus crowd for the last 28 years plus. Basically, when I started out as a trainer, it just happened to be that the 50 plus was my crowd. And it started already back in Sweden. I just have always had an interest in working with the elderly. And it's for the wisdom, and it's for many things, but also seeing how sometimes in today's age and time, getting older is not as hot as being in your 20s and 30s. And I really wanted to make that my mission in life, to embrace the age wherever you are, that every new decade is a new chapter, is a new adventure. So I wanted to share my enthusiasm about aging, that you don't look at it as an arc where you're at your height when you're 50 and then it's just downhill from there. I wanted people to feel that it's a staircase, it's an ascending staircase. And so that has always been in the back of my mind ever since I was a teenager, when my dad got this painting exactly like an arc where you're at the height when you're 50. It was his 50th birthday. And I stood and looked at that painting when I was 12 years old. And I was like, I am not going to live my life like that. So that has been like, again, it's been in the back of my mind. And so when I came here and I started to work out with the 50 plus, it was just very prioritized to the 50 plus. I've learned so much, through my education. Again, I have a master's degree in physical education. I've become certified through other organizations, but I've learned so much from just working with my clients. And I've seen what works and what does not work when you age, if you want to age and be confident in your aging. So I wanted to take that knowledge and experience to a bigger mass, to a bigger audience. Because a lot of people, when they came into their 70s or 80s, they would tell me, oh, Malin, I wish I had started to do this much earlier. And I thought, I really want to reach out to people in their 40s and up and just tell them, hey, I have all the answers here, right here in the palm of my hand, and I want to share it with you. I want to share it so you can start investing into your health now. And it's not about, I'm really not into the whole weight loss. And yes, we look good if we feel good, but it really comes from within. If I feel good, I will look good. I will feel good about myself. So it's coming from that point of view that I encourage and inspire people that are 50 plus to work, that it's getting strong in your body and mind. It's just going to give you that confidence. You're going to feel independent. You're going to be able to live a fun, healthy, and fulfilling life.
That is so very true. And you and I have had a lot of conversations while this book has been in progress about the special, I don't want to say special needs. It's probably not the way to put it. As we get older, well, I'm an athlete too. And just the flexibility that needs to be nurtured, the alignment, every single call, I think about your book and that I'm hunching over while I'm talk a little bit about that. How, what really needs to be strengthened and nurtured during this time period that maybe didn't need to be during your 30s and 40s.
Yeah, well, exactly. And also today's society, what do? We sit a lot in front of our computers, in front of our phones, and it's very easy to start hunching over and everything is happening here. And we just forget to be in this position. So posture is definitely something I work on. I have a little 3-letter word that I call CAP, Core Alignment Posture. And when I work with clients, it's I brainwash them with those 3 letters. But it works because a lot of them say that, hey, I put on my cap today and it just feels so much better. When you work correctly, you're aligned and your posture is good, then you prevent potential injuries and there's less aches and pains in your body. So again, I work from the point of view of everyone's capacity. It doesn't matter if you're 20 years old or 70 years old. I've actually worked with people that are in their 20s that are in bad shape and people in their 70s that are in great shape. So to me, age is really not the limit. It is just our mind that is, of course, the limit. But in regards to the age, when you say, yes, we don't work out the same as in our 20s and 30s, because it might be, oh, you want to burn so many calories and you want to just sweat and just, work your hardest. When you get up into the 40s and 50s, you start feeling like, oh, this starts aching a little bit, that starts aching a little bit, because remember, our body is a machine. And with a machine, we got to maintain it. We got to bring it into the body shop, the Nordic body shop. And we have to really pay attention to what the body is telling you. We can't ignore the body. And we cannot use the excuse, oh, it's because I'm getting older. Okay. We cannot accept that, because guess what? Technology and medicine are so advanced today that you're going to live so much longer. How is that quality of those additional years going to be? That's up to you. And working out and taking care of your joints, your muscles, your heart is what's going to give you that quality. And that's what I'm trying to emphasize. So working correctly, lining up everything, rolling out your aches and pains. I'm a big firm believer in foam rolling, that you use any tool, tennis ball, a foam roller, to roll out your aches and pains. And I have a Nordic Body Reboot program that people, even in their 80s, have had success with. I had this client, Malin. She couldn't walk up the stairs because her left hip kept preventing her from doing it because it was hurting her. Just 2 weeks after doing my program, the Nordic Body Reboot program, which is a very specific program for that, she was able to go up those stairs. Now, I'm not a physical therapist. I work closely with physical therapists. I'm not a doctor. But my system that, again, I have put together for the last 28 years, it works. And it can keep you healthy well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond.
That's great. And I great segue into what we're going to talk about next. In addition to the book that you have coming out, you have one of the best branded subscription online programs. There's a whole package here that you've put together. I read last week that the online fitness business, the industry, is going to be a $43 billion industry because of COVID.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. But you have taken your one-on-one and you've put it into not only the book, but a subscription program that's coming on that is priced at a point where the everyday person can partake in this. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the whole process is, again, back to, I want this message to go out to a bigger audience. And when you just work one-on-one, you can just reach so many people. So the thought process has been there for a very long time to, how can I reach people with speaking, with writing a book, and offering something that everyone can do. So it started with having the vision and also having the purpose. What do I want to do? I'm very lucky. I've known for a very long time what I want to do and what my purpose in life is, how I can serve and how I can help people get healthier regardless their age. So having that first, a very strong belief in what you want to do is crucial, because no matter what time of the day, if somebody wakes you up, you need to feel very excited about that one thing that you want to do. Then you build on that. I have, again, worked for 28 years with people one-on-one. So I have a whole system that I just went into. And when I trained my trainers to become Nordic body instructors, I had to train them in my system. So I have a whole system. So I took the system and put it into the book. And to make it more fun, I worked with a book coach that guided me to make it, again, more fun and inviting for people to read it. And then COVID hit, and it was just, sometimes timing is so perfect. I feel very sorry for people that are struggling, during COVID, and people working in the restaurant business and what have you, our essential workers, I just feel so proud of everyone doing everything we can to protect ourselves, to stay healthy. And during the process, in the beginning, I felt a little bit, I can't tell people, but I was actually writing the book, started in February, and because of COVID, I had more time to write it. And my thought was in 2021 to start with my online memberships, because I've been wanting to get out of the one-on-one to, again, bigger audience. And COVID kind of kicked me into high gear, into fifth gear to get that going. So not only did I finish the book earlier than expected, but I also I had to be adaptable. And that's another thing you have to be in your business. You have to be adaptable. You can't, I met so many personal trainers that I say, hey, so are you online? No, I don't know how to do it. No, I don't want to do it. My clients don't want to do it. You have to have an open mind, and you have to at least try it. If it doesn't work out, then at least you can say you've done it. Now, there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it. So if you do it in a good way where it actually does work, then you will have success. So what I did, I listened to my clients. What do they want? What do they need? And even though I have worked with a 50 plus crowd for 28 years, I realized I had a little limitation. When my 80-year-old client, Lily Tomlin, asked me, Malin, can we start working out online? Because she didn't feel comfortable seeing me in person during COVID. I was like, wow, somebody in their 80s wants to work out online on Zoom. Well, if she wants it, probably everyone wants it.
Right.
So I tapped into that demand from my client, and I started to do online workouts for a bigger group once a month. I started back in April. And then I was like, well, people, they need to see me more than just once a month. So let's create a whole membership. And I gave it a very low fee. It was like $9.95. So everyone during COVID could afford it. And they get the 30-day support from me. I check in on a weekly basis. And they get the workouts and the camaraderie, the support from other people. We get tips from each other. So starting that, it just started to build to something. And that's what is very successful to do, that you kind of build on things. You try it out, it works, then you build on it. You listen to people, you listen to your clients, what do they need, what is the demand, and you make that happen. So when I did write the book, I started to put things into the book where they can go to my online membership. So the book is a vehicle for you to learn, but it's also a vehicle for me to get an audience onto my online memberships. And they start in January 2021. And I have an annual membership. And when we come to this time of the year, people's commitment to health is a little bit wavering. We're getting into the holidays, and we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas and all that good stuff. And it probably will be different this year because of COVID, but still we have a tendency to slack off from working out and taking care of our health, what we eat. So this is a perfect timing also to launch something new when people are in that mood and they want to make a commitment for next year. I want to do New Year's resolutions. So here I am offering it already in the month of November and December. So people, they can feel good about, well, I signed up for this annual, not just monthly. I'm offering an annual membership program at a very low budget, feasible cost to make sure that people, they get on starting January 1st and have a whole year to take care of their health. Because a lot of times we start, right, in January, and we're like, oh, I'm going to work out. And then 2 weeks later, what happens? We stop. We don't feel motivated. Well, this 1 year program, you will be supported for a whole year with me. And of course, you can continue. But the program is an annual program. So it's the whole vision of just, again, knowing what it is that you want to do, what you want to give people, listening to your clients and their demands, and be open, adaptable to how things have to change in your business. Try it out. There will be some trial and error, but just stay the path and get help from a team. I mean, when you and I started to work, that was amazing how you work to be my publisher, because my first book that I did 10 years ago was through a big fitness publisher, which was great. I learned the whole process of how it is to write a book, but I didn't have the freedom to do what I want to do with my book. And you have helped me immensely on that path as well.
Well, thank you. And by the way, you guys, I did not pay her to say that. No, but one of the things I want to talk about, you mentioned that, you talk to a lot of other fitness trainers and they, oh, I don't know how to do this. You did it the right way. You went out and you hired people who did know. So you not only have your subscription courses up now, but you have webinars planned. You have complimentary session that we're going to talk about at the end here, and also the book. So you have really spent your time coordinating your effort. And you guys, I have to tell you, when you start looking at her materials and all this, she is well branded. It's all branded to the books, the programs. So I just would encourage anybody who wants to take advantage of this online, do it in a way that is not haphazard. And that probably means you're going to have to bite the bullet and hire some professionals to really get this out here. How has it been for you working with these teams? I know you work all day and then you're trying to get this all together at night. Has it been a lot, or how have you felt about it?
Yeah, but it helps being a Virgo.
What is that?
Very organized.
Oh, okay. And she's super organized. I'm a Pisces, so I'm like this wavy gravy. Actually,
right.
I don't have much like a Pisces.
Well, it's been overwhelming at times, but I think what carries me is, again, that initial vision, what it is that I want to do. Because when you have a big, pie to eat from, you have to start with the small pieces. So it's about breaking down your big vision. And then, like you said, hire people, because you cannot do everything. Mm-hmm. And you should not be doing everything, because if you are a control freak and you want to do it this way and no other way, you're going to fail, because you can't be an expert at everything. So you need to hire the people that are an expert at their thing. Referrals, I highly recommend, because if somebody has success with somebody, most likely you will as well. So the teams that I've been able, or my team that I've been able to put together, didn't happen overnight. It's going to be a trial and error with virtual assistants and marketing people, webinar people, publishers, book coaches, but you have to follow your intuition as well. Does this feel right? Then you're on the right track. If something doesn't feel right, then you have to speak up. And even though I'm not a designer, I love being creative, and I can still see that, hey, this is not really along my brand. My brand is this and this and that. Mm-hmm. So in anything you do with your brand, first of all, you have to decide, what is your brand? What does it stand for? And once you've made that decision, then it's going to be easy for you to say yes or no when people want to have your approval for this project, for this image, for this, for that. If you're very strong in, this is what my brand is. And that is super important. And also being able to communicate to your team what it is that you're doing and what your brand stands for. Then they are going to be able to say, oh no, this is too much clutter. Her brand is more simple. We need to simplify it. So the team needs to be experts, but they also need to see your vision and know your brand.
Absolutely. And one thing I loved about your team, I've worked on teams before where people got really egocentric. And, I remember Patrick coming to me and saying, hey, can I change this in the copy? And I was like, if it makes Malin happy. And I think a lot of times people on teams, when there's different team members working together, we don't have that cohesiveness, no, I'm insulted that you want to change this. It's not about the team members. It's about what they're doing for you. So I really loved working with that team too, because there were no egos, which is good.
Yeah, and I think you are you attract people that are like you, and that you want the same thing. I mean, that's with anything in life. You just attract people that are like you, and then it's up to you to say no or yes if that person is aligned with your purpose. So it's there's a lot of egos in our industry, in the fitness industry, and I'm just lucky that I'm not one of them, because my mission is just bigger than myself. My purpose is bigger than myself. I'm just the vehicle. I'm just here to serve and to bring out my message, and just having people get inspired and live a fun, healthy, fulfilling life.
So your book, the name of it is Wake Up Your Body and Mind, Body+Mind at 50.
After 50.
After 50. I don't know why I totally blanked there. It's going to be available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, November 17th. You have a free gift, a complimentary gift you'd like to give everybody on the show. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so every month I've been doing, since April, I've been doing these complimentary workouts online, and it's a combination of cardio and strength. And I divide them into 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, and anyone can participate. Some of the workouts require no equipment, and some of them require very little, like a resistance band, and some, weights, maybe using your cans or water bottles, or actually encourage you to invest some of that now, especially during COVID, is important to have. But most of the workouts are very easy to follow. You can do them indoors, you can do them outdoors, as long as you are able to get on Zoom and have internet access, you're going to be able to participate. And I have ages from late 30s to 90s that participate, and all fitness level. And because sometimes in my testimonials from my clients, one thing that they say is that I can work with any level, and I'm not a person that is hard like a Jillian Michaels who will stand there with a whip. I can be like that too.
Some people like that. No.
I am just really encouraging people to move instead of making them feel bad about not moving. So anything you do, I just love seeing you there participating and that you're trying. That is the main thing. And it's not for me, it's for you. And my goal, again, is just to educate you, give you knowledge so you work out and stay injured free, and you decrease your aches and pains, and you feel great. So that is the purpose. So these online monthly workouts are complimentary, and I'm going to give you the link in, do I do it here in the chat box?
Yeah,
or
just go ahead and say it.
Oh my God, I have to say it because it's a long one. First I have to, because I have it, it is Nordic. Well, first of all, you do the whole HT.
Oh, you don't need that. Just www.
No, okay, so nordicbody.com/complimentary cardio-strength-online-session /.
Wow. So
I don't know if you can you send that out to them as well?
Yes, absolutely. You guys, it'll be in the show notes, nordicbody.com/complimentary cardio
strength online session /.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's basically nordicbody.com/complimentary cardio strength online session. And between each word, you have a dash.
Very cool. Very cool. Malin, thank you so much for sharing all this today. And I'm really excited for you. I think this is going to be really, really successful.
Thank you. And with your help, it will be successful. It's been an honor to have you part of my team. And I cannot recommend you highly enough. The way that you work with every person, I thought in the beginning that this was going to be like a meeting once in a while. But to meet with you once a week, to stay on top of the whole process has been invaluable. And the communication has been so good with us every week, reviewing things and going back and forth. So it is your success as well. And I'm so glad that you are in my life as a person and as a publisher to help me through this. And again, I wouldn't have been able to do this alone. So thank you so much, Juliet.
Thank you. You guys, I swear I did not pay her for that. I'm going to have to pull that off as a testimonial. All right, you guys, see you next week.
Thank you.